good afternoon to all people, YouTube Nation as well as Facebook Nation. Good morning and good afternoon to all people. Right now it's right around 1 o'clock, so have a beautiful day. The day is just starting. So if I'm a little trippy, it's because there's light that's coming out. There's light coming out that is a light that is there for everyone. It is out here for everyone. But it's to say where we are, what's going on, what we see around us, and why. So this is the message to people of pure light. They're here, and before I get into the topic, let me say good morning and good afternoon to all people, all races, all nations, no matter where you are on the face of this earth. The most beautiful day. May you have the most wonderful day, and for whatever goals that you have set forth for yourself on this day, may those goals come to fruition, and may those goals be a benefit in a positive way for all of humanity, because we need one another. And this is what this topic is about. Times have changed, and they've changed in a drastic way. And most people who go through everyday life, we have no knowledge of how we can move through time. We're moving through space, so we're moving through. This is the stupidity within humanity of this channel, is that we're constantly moving through space, but yet we are so important, our lives, that we don't understand everything else that's going on around us. This is why things happen like North Carolina with the kid who just went rampant. But we're going to talk about why these things are happening. All of these things, everything that you're experiencing in your life, we're going to talk about why these things are happening. It's up to you to open up your eyes and understand who we all actually are. So the topic of today is demons and angels. And in parentheses, that my name, who I am, and welcome to my channel. There's a lot of stuff that's on there. It talks about everything that's going on through life, as well as a playlist of people saying the same thing. It's just up to us to open up our eyes to see that it's not about a color. It's about what has taken place on this earth to cause these things to come. And again, my name is Jebodiaz Muadi. So the fallen are here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to point all to a movie. I can't show it. I can't sit there and put it up there because they say, hey, copyright it, and for educational purposes only and promotional purposes only. The movie, and I said this in a morning motivation, which is another set of videos that I did, and I spoke about that movie, Fallen, with Washington. One of the things I want to point out in that movie is how these fallen work. There's no difference. There is no difference. The only difference is the circumstance in which it comes. All my videos, even when it comes to open up your door, you have to allow evil into your life. It can't just walk in. I should know. I'm a judge. I should know because I'm a judge. And this is why someone in a position that I have, I can see these individuals. They, as far as earth people who are human, walking around where they're empty inside, these things can come in, these fallen. And it's shown to you in an extreme way in the movie Fallen, where, it was just that anytime this entity came in contact with another person, it automatically took over that person. But remember, when you watch that movie, there were hundreds of people that were walking around in the street. And there were certain people that they just couldn't go up to and tap. Sometimes they had to go into an animal. So even when it comes to a mosquito bite, I don't remember the last time I had one, to be honest. But this is how these things move. But that is exactly, if you sit back and you watch this, you'll understand where we are. Oh, I'm going to take a moment for this. How people sit back. My channel never asked for anything. This is why my channel didn't take off. I think at one time I had like 500 people that were coming. But I'm not here to say what you want to hear. And I don't want anything from anyone. So therefore, the only thing that I can give is knowledge. So this was an event that took place this past weekend. And what was great about it, it strives for diabetes, which is a cause. It was a community event. which took place on the green. So I live close. I've started to go to these different community events, even though I'll stay there. I've made it a thing that I said I'm going to go there for an hour. And if I have something to spend, which is for a good cause, I'm going to do that. I did that with this. I just happened to be the first person that I came out there. I think I got there like around 1 o'clock. It started at 12. And when I got there, they were like, oh, you're the first person. And I was like, oh, well, just let me pay and do the donation. And, I really, didn't come for the speeches and things like that. I just came to, donate for the cause and, to do a lap around the park. What happened, we had to do 5 laps around the park, and 2 of the nurses that were there, they walked with me, and they had a chance to, for me to dialogue. This is how I spread pure light. It's not about this channel. It's about who you come in contact with, who you touch. There are phones, just like in that movie, that they can brush up on you and they can feed you so much negative energy that you harvest, and you don't even understand why. But yet and still, I'm saying with the light that I have, I can go out and I can reach. I reach these 2 people and have them thinking differently, because we're coming up in an era where the voting, November, for our divided state, we're coming up on this era that's a point in time where things matter. These can change globally. But both of you guys are corrupt. On both sides, you're all freaking corrupt. You're all corporate, you're corrupt and evil. Underneath that, everything is run by the fallen. The people who pay is us. So let me get back on topic. For those people, I'm a judge. I know that I'm a judge. I know that I'm standing. I've seen you. You literally today closed off my street. You closed off my street. You had cop cars that were from every place and any place. I don't know, maybe even federal. You know what I'm saying? But that's what lets me know who I am. And it lets you know who you're dealing with. This is why you can't run up and say, hey, let's lock him up. Because I'm thinking no matter where you put me, you can't take this away. It is a library full of knowledge. You can never take this away. So you only have one way. But your fear for you falling, your fear is you know that I have you for the rest of eternity because you fall under my jurisdiction. So for those of pure light who are on earth, who are here right now in physical form, there's no love connection when I reach out or a physical connection. No, these are things that the all appreciated. And the all always sends down messengers to turn around to do what's right. He sends down record keepers. He sends down account. He sends down, not he, the all. The all is male and female because when everything occurs at that one time, everything blossoms. You can look at it and say, oh, it was a big bang. But what if it was a blossom? What if it was peace and harmony? What if it was peace and love? What if it was intelligence beyond intelligence, just trying to love itself? But it had to get rid of distortion and chaos in order to come into harmony. And this is why we're here. This is why I'm here. This is why I know you can't walk on me. Because as I said in prior videos, you can come, anyone can come, and I can bring you anywhere, back in time, and tell you about the same things that you're trying to do now that you did then. That's dangerous. But I'm ready, and I'm here, and you will be judged because I've seen it. I'm tapped into the vibration. I'm tapped into this harmony. So I want to get deeper with everyone because it helps you to be a better person because everything is based on peace and love. If you don't have this is where you're going to come back to. So yeah, put your stuff away and save up all your money because when you're reincarnated not into this realm but into another realm that may be far worse, another dimension, you're going to start out with nothing that you bought. And you may very well be a cow. Or you may very well be a bird. You may very well be a squirrel. You may very well be a fish. You don't know because everything living is under the all. Everything living, everything, even plants, everything has DNA. Everything is living. We're all made up of it. We are all made up of it. So I'm trapped. Me personally, I'm trapped. Because spiritually, I'm on the all. I know where I come from. I know I come from light. I know I made a choice to come back over and over and over to make things right. But there's only so much right that you can do. This is why humanity on this planet has restarted and restarted and restarted because we failed to work together. We failed to understand that these beings that came here, they these tags on every last one of us and claimed us like slaves. So there is not a person, human being on the face of this earth who is not a slave. We are all on this earth to these fallen. And there is no true God. And as hard as that might be for many of you, let me get a little deeper for you. I am probably not only one, but very few that hold these beings accountable. This is something that you're not seeing on media. This is not something that you're seeing. They'll tell you about it, but they're not challenging that. Even with all these unidentified things that are flying around us, it's walking amongst us. We don't challenge it. But yet, we have to, because we're all being played against one another. Which actually, this t-shirt, where it's an event for people who have diabetes. So I've done different causes. I've donated for different events. I have something that I always, but at the same time, what hurt me during this event was that no one was out there. No one, it was a good day. There were free things that were being given, and a lot of this stuff they had to load up. People did come, but a lot of the stuff they had to load up. And this is what tells me that these fallen ones have us. They have us so divided that even people of one race wouldn't feel comfortable to say, hey, let me support this cause. So we're divided. So when you read that scripture, I came not for peace, but a sword. Think about what that sword is all about, and think about what that sword has done to us all on this earth. So, lastly, I want to leave you with a receipt that says, this is from a friend. So, my best friend, my brother. So I blacked out the name. All I did was just leave you the meat of what this conversation was about. And this conversation was about childhood coming up into the present day. And for everything that we struggled through, when I came into life, I said I can't go back. That's why I had to leave, not everything, but just certain things I had to leave behind in order to find life. And there were people that I wanted to turn back to. And I always had this, conversation. So people of pure light, if you're chosen, you can't just select someone and say, hey, you're blessed. No, it has to come from light. If it doesn't come from light, it's coming from darkness, and your light is not pure. So, for years, this is my best. He had a heart attack, passed away. I wasn't present. I was in the operating room when this happened. And I said this to him, that I didn't have to be there. With the issue where he was like, I felt that you weren't there, and I was like, yes, I was. I saw when they opened you up. I was standing, I was above you when this was happening. I explained things, freaked him out about what was going on during that time. And then, when you read this, he's like, everything that he's experienced after, to sit back and hear all these messages. And he's like, when he says kumbaya, it's because it's always positive energy. And he's like, yo, you know me. You didn't know this is who I am. And what I was saying is, no, I know you. Not what this world and what these fallen ones have made you become. I know you. And I'm happy to say, even after that message, which was previously, because we hadn't talked in almost a year, maybe a little more than a year, he was angry. Not only angry with the fact that I had changed my name, but just everything else that was going on. And he thought that I wasn't offering him something that was better than what we had as friends. Even though he has his life, he has his family, which are all a part of me, me and my family. Offer something better in regards to always being able to present something beautiful, where we don't have to talk about the outside world, where we only speak about us and things to us, what makes us happy, and just enjoy the moment. Something that we've never done through years, because again, that sword has divided everything. So you have to think about this, which brings me back, to the Fallen, that movie. And I want to leave you with this, that, if you're not looking at life and you say to yourself, well, I just walked into, the supermarket. And as I walked into the supermarket, hey, I got a beautiful deal. I got like 20 off of my bill. I was like happy. I walk out into the parking lot and, the person rams the carriage into my car. How could something so good to something so messed up? Or going to work and have a good day. Finally, you have a good day at work, everything is good, and then you get home and, the basement is leaking, and, the washing was running all day, and it ran on automatic, or they turn the power off, turn the power on, and started up the washing machine, no fault of your own, but you walk into a mess after a beautiful day. It's how these work. There is nothing that they cannot affect if you're empty inside. If you are empty inside, they will fill it. If there's greed, if there's lust, if there's anything that you lack as a human being, they will. And this is why we're seeing what's going on in all facets of this earth right now. Watch that movie and you'll understand what's around you. And then you'll know how to stand. But once you're open, as I said, you'll start to see. You'll start to see things that you never thought were possible, but are possible. But understand this, that for us, for the humans that are on this earth, you are original creation. We were all altered. We were all genetically altered. So we are without, it took no sacrifice to do that. We are without sin because these beings came here, this is what they did, and they never left. We've been their slaves, and we'll be their slaves to come. So, understand that when we see this is not who we are. You know what I'm saying? We all are of one being, all of one race. And, the sad thing about this, we all have to come together. And I know this is like up, but it's like down. But at the same time, like I said, when light comes, you just, leave. Because light doesn't stay with you. It only comes to bring the message. And, from there on, you have to maintain the strength and the light and the mindset and the direction that light coming in. Because even people out here, which is a good point, even people out here who are like content creators and all that, they possess pure light. Certain ones possess pure light. If they allow fallen to come into them, then one will dominate the other. So in that regard, Jesus was right. You can't serve two masters. One will dominate the other. This is why I do everything without money. And like I say to you people out there, if you, I say to you, help any cause that you can. Be a part of any cause. Donate, what you can. Because the world is in a bad place right now. So with that, everyone, I know I took a minute, but I had to get that out. And thank you. Peace and blessings.